I get asked to make a video like this many times on my channel. It's about handling your gecko, trying to tame it, and what you do when you have it out. I did make a similar video which I will put in the description box below, check that out. The main two things I can tell you is be patient and also be confident. Here is Gizmo's tank. Now obviously my geckos will act a little bit differently than usual because one, I'm shining a lamp into their vivariums, and two, I've set up a whole camera in front of their vivariums, so they might be a bit more curious. So here we go, here's Gizmo. Now first thing you'll notice if you have glass doors is to try to do them sort of like this, so they don't make too much sound, because that will freak out your gecko if all of a sudden you just screech across. Okay, so here we go. See, I always find it hard to do a video like this because I'm so used to just picking them up. Literally, if you see how my hand is here, this is how I've scooped her up. Okay, so usually when they're out, it depends what time of the day is, how much heat they've gathered. Like right now, the heat's been off in her vivarium. Can I just say, when I say the heat is off, it's because my room temperature is between 23 and 24 degrees, so I mean that's quite sufficient for night time. In the winter I will usually leave the heat on a lot longer into the night. So right now she is loving my warm hands. As I said, each gecko is very different though. Like Gizmo's very calm. She can be quite adventurous and decide, oh, she wants to walk up my arm, but this is all she does. So just twist like that. She's on the same hand. It's really great though if you're actually doing something. I can multitask. I can just have her in this hand and I'll be maybe writing or typing on my laptop, and I think I'm just so used to it, I've been doing it for years, I can just twist her around and it's completely fine. And obviously they have little claws so they hang on. So now we're going to try with a different gecko. Big tip, if you have more than one gecko, wash your hands thoroughly between each hold. You don't want to be passing on any diseases or parasites, things you can't see, you don't know, it could affect another gecko, so always wash your hands in between handling. Okay, now we have Diego. He loves coming out. He's normally going to be the warmest one out of them all. He can retain a lot more heat, I think, because he's bigger. Diego! So I'll show you a different approach you can do. Okay, so finally he's made his way up, and this is easier. All you do is just scoop round and you've got most of him. Yeah, if you can support all their feet and their tail, especially the bigger ones, that is very good. I'm actually able to walk around with him on my back or on my shoulder because he's got quite a strong grip. But obviously I walk slow, I wouldn't run because he could just lose his grip and drop. When you're sat down though with a gecko, as long as you keep an eye on them, they'll probably just go up your shoulder and sit there. Oh, he's run off. Although they can be quite wary of their surroundings, they actually will run in a sudden burst. And it's like a little, oh my god, can you pick this up? Because if you can pick this up, this would be really cool for you guys to see. Now, if you see this, this is him signalling like a warning sign, like go away. This is quite common actually when they're out. If you let them run around, and I know that there's no small places he can really get to apart from in there, if you let them run around and you suddenly try to pick them up, they may do this and they're waddle. They suddenly find this thing of freedom and they don't want to be picked up. So, okay, so approaching them now. Sorry, this is a bit dark. In this state, you've got to really keep an eye on the body language, because if he does put his tail up again and I still grab him, he might flip out. Here you go, picked him up. Okay. When you do that, he might be a bit more jittery, might walk a bit quicker and you'll be like, oh, like he's been spooked. So they're just, it's like when they get freedom, they just like to run, then suddenly they could be potential prey and they do the warning signal, and then you pick them up and they might be a bit freaked out. So when they're like this, they're pretty easy to get out. These doors are worse than the others, so I have to really watch out how I do it. She's pretty much letting herself out. This is another way, and all you have to do is put your hand here. She might lick it, pick up the scent, know who she's climbing onto. Or she might clean her eye. And if you don't want to wait for them, then all you have to do once again is just scoop them. Not too tight. Because I don't think Minnie's got great sight, she will usually stop a lot. She's very curious. She licks a lot to pick up the scent. She doesn't really run off like Diego would. Okay, now for Ziggy. Always loves to come out. See, that one was quite loud actually. Now, one thing she always does is she sort of stands up on the side, like she is right now, which makes it even easier for me to pick up. So you can see she's up a bit and just pick up and round. Okay, so another place you can have your geckos out is on a sofa or on a bed, making sure that there are no small gaps where he or she can escape to, and that you are keeping an eye on them at all times. This is like a really nice place because it sort of cuts off an area just for them and they can have a good runabout. Don't be surprised if you put them in a new area like this and they just stop for a bit and look around. They're just getting used to the new area. See, Ziggy's rather liking this leopard print. So we're on duvet cam right now, at the same height as a gecko. Now, when it comes to taming geckos, as I've said before, I've actually been rather fortunate that my geckos always seem to settle in really quickly. I don't know what it is, partly maybe because if they're bought from a breeder, usually the breeder handles them quite a bit, so they're used to it. I hope this has helped and been slightly interesting. I usually get my geckos out every day or every 2 days if I do like two geckos a day, and usually they can be out for anywhere from half an hour to an hour. It depends if I'm doing something on the computer, they can just be sat on me and it's fine. Also avoid places such as like conservatories that have extreme heat or extreme coldness depending on the time of the year. Just don't take them outside either. But if you're sitting in your living room and it's a nice warm room temperature, they should be very happy.